Bonsoir tout le monde, which means good evening, everyone. It is 9:15, April 30th, and I just wanted to recap on last weekend's events in the capital of the European Union. I went to Brussels with a very dear friend of mine who is also a CMC student who is abroad in Edinburgh this semester, so we met up kind of halfway. And we had a really great time, or at least I had, I had a really great time. I think she did too. And she's probably watching this right now. Hi, Lauren. um, it was a lot of fun. We ate a lot of waffles, and we did a good amount of sightseeing. And so overall, it was a great weekend. And I will get into some of the things that we did. When we arrived in Brussels on Friday or Thursday afternoon, we checked into the hostel, and right after that we walked around a little bit. It was night then, but it was still kind of warm, so that was really nice. The first place we visited was Grand Place, which is a central square in Brussels, and it's composed of a lot of really beautiful buildings. One of which is the town hall, and there's also a museum called Bread House, or it's actually, I think it's King's House. Um, yeah, King House, and it has really neat artwork in there. But we didn't go inside. We just walked in the square. It's considered to be one of the most important tourist destinations, and just a memorable landmark in Brussels. And it was really neat to see. Really neat to see the Grand Square at night because everything was lit up, and it was beautiful. I think historically it was a place where merchants gathered together and sold a lot of different sort of items like food and artwork. And today still it serves as a market. And I think when we walked around there we saw people selling flowers and artwork, but I think it was still a little too cold to be selling other things. But uh, no, overall it was great. And we also saw it in the morning too, just because it was so close to our hostel, and it's just a really nice a really nice place to see. On Friday evening, after we walked around Grand Place, we had the first waffle of the trip, and it was delicious. After we had our waffle, we ran over to this place called Le Maison de Thun, which is a puppet theater. It also has like a puppet factory and a puppet museum that you could visit. Um, and so it was interesting. I think it's really unique to Brussels, so it was really cool to check out. We actually sat down for a puppet show, and we appreciated it mostly because we were sitting near the front, so we could see the people who were controlling the puppets, and they were getting really into the show. I mean, they were like laughing and smiling and moving their mouths or moving their lips to the lines, and they're getting. I mean, you could see the passion on their faces, but also they were able to move the puppets in very intricate motions. So um, I don't know. We just appreciated all the skill work and time that went into preparing it, but the story we didn't follow very well because it was all in French, and even with my limited French, I didn't pick up really what was going on the first half of the show, but during the second half, I was able to figure out what was going on. Um, so yeah, that was a little unfortunate. And Lauren, who was sitting next to me, I don't think she really caught a lot of the plot either. So I mean, it was still a lot of fun. And then afterward, we visited the museum that I mentioned, and we took pictures of all the cool puppets. Um, so that was a really very interesting experience. After that, we went back to Grand Place. walked around a little bit more, and then we headed back to the hostel for a good night's sleep. The next morning, we got up, had a waffle for breakfast, so that was nice, and we headed over to the European Parliamentarium, which is the largest parliamentary visitor center in Europe, and it's operational in the 23 official European Union languages, and so it was really neat to see. It uses a lot of different interactive multimedia tools to give people an insight on the way that the European Union functions and also the history of the European Union. Um, and then we learned about the other European institutions. And although I can't recall everything that I learned, it was just we were just hit with so much history, um, and it was just as the European Parliament President Jerry Buzek, he phrased it in a way that it's a lot nicer than I could ever put it. He says that the parliamentarian exhibition shows that Europe has come a long way, surviving 2 world wars, reuniting the divided continent, and now sharing a joint political project which will thrive and prevail over the challenges we face today. And it was really, really cool. We got to learn about how all the 27 member states joined the European Union, as well as, like I said, the history and all the really important moments in history that happened, like the fall of the Iron Curtain being one of them. A lot of different revolutions. Overall, it was great, and I I hate to say it, but I really can't remember everything that I learned. It was so much, but overall, it was a good experience. And after that, we visited the Cathedral of St. Michael, which is a Roman Catholic church in Brussels, and it was really a really beautiful place. I really appreciated all the details that went into the building, the the Gothic style building that was constructed, I think, in the 13th century. I could go look that up, but I'm pretty sure it was the 13th century. It's pretty old either way, and I love the stained glass that was inside. We couldn't. Oh, actually, no. We were allowed to take pictures on the inside, so it was beautiful. And let's see. That evening we had another waffle, so that marks the third waffle we had throughout the trip, and we saw a jazz performance a place called the Music Village, which is located right near Grand Place, and it was really nice. We saw a group called Mariana Tutsi and the Swing Dealers, and they were they were fantastic. Um, what could I say about them? They sang songs that were very popular, but they also sang some of their own music, and I really enjoyed the all the different solos that came up in a jazz performance. This band at least had a pianist, a bass player, and there was someone playing drums, and there was another guy playing the saxophone, and of course a vocalist, and she was wonderful. But all the people, they kind of had their own solos and they improvised, and it was overall a great performance. It was a little expensive to get in, but it was worth the price, I guess. And let's see, after that we headed back to the hostel and we slept. And the following morning we had our fourth and final waffle. And at that point I was getting sick of waffles, but Lauren was still very much enjoying them. We started a contest, or not a contest, like a competition at the beginning, saying we were trying to guess who would get sick of waffles, and it was actually me. So, but it was nice. And we did some more walking around Grand Place. We also went inside this boutique chocolatier where Lauren bought a box of chocolates for her and her friends in Edinburgh, and I didn't buy any chocolates. Switzerland, in my opinion, has really, really good chocolate, so I wasn't really too crazy about it, but it looked really nice, and we had a sample, and it was really good. It was very good. And after that, I ran over to the airport because we were, well, I was late. I was really late for my flight.